Hi guys, this is Willie and Ronna Grayson from the city to country living. Today we are here to explain the steps that we took in purchasing the land. My husband is going to share the steps that we took, and here he is.
Well, in the process of finding the land and everything else, there's a lot of things that we came across. And some people would tell you to begin to pack your bags and just move. And we found out that that is not a very practical thing to do when it comes to uprooting yourself from, especially from one state to another. So during the process of prayer, we asked God to give guidance and wisdom as we begin to select a place. One thing we found out in the beginning that you must, as we go through this process, you must begin to eliminate your small debt and all frivolous spending. So there are some things that we do and that we spend on a daily basis that we don't have to have, but we just want. But if you tighten that up and you begin to eliminate that frivolous spending, then you will be able to build a budget and you begin to start saving money. Everybody can save something. We learned from a mentor a long time ago that just saving $5 from every paycheck will help you in the long run. But when we did our budget, we found out there were certain things that we can weed out of that budget and we can begin to save more money in moving towards our future goal, in which moving out of the city down to the country where we live at. And so you also want to check your credit score. We did that, and there were certain things that we understood that need to be paid off that could be cleared up. Certain things that vendors look at in regards to your credit, versus you having a large amount of debt, $10,000-$20,000 that you pay off, or something that is $300 or $400 that is just lingering. So you want to clean that up, and you want to make sure that you make your payments on time and everything else when it comes to your debt. The other thing we found out is that we had to investigate the place in which we want to live. We had to go look at certain places, and we chose a spot in Tennessee after looking at various places, but we began to have to start investigating. One of the things we found out that we wasn't told in the beginning was the cost of utility expenses. And having rural land and building from just raw land, you have expenses that incur with water and with utility costs as far as electricity. And if you're going to use propane, that's a whole new different expense in itself. So you want to investigate in those areas and in those mediums how much it's going to cost and the average cost and usage of utilities over the course of a month in the area that you're in. Say for instance, for our utility installation in the upcoming videos when we will show you that, it costs us on the average of $800 per pole to install our utility costs, and it was up as much as $25 to maybe $30 a linear foot for wire, if not more or less, depending on your area and how far they had to go to install that. And we're a few hundred yards back in our property, so that was like 130 something bucks a linear square foot. So the average cost came out over $2,000. Now everybody don't have that in their pocket, but by God's amazing grace, we were able to save that money, and we had that to be able to do that, to move forward with building. And this was after we had purchased our property. So some other investigations you want to do is stores, your shopping, where you can shop, how far you have to go to shop, the schools if you have small children, how far the municipalities for the schools are. You want to look at hospitals in case you need some type of care. And then you also want to look at employment opportunities, because we all need to work and support ourselves and to support our families. The third thing we found out, which was a big blessing, because we had begun to investigate property on our own, looking for land and everything else. But if you're not from the area, you don't know the area, and so you must get your real estate agent. You must get somebody who's familiar with the area. Don't just get somebody online that's way down in Nashville somewhere and you moving to a rural part somewhere else. You want to get a real estate area from the area that knows the area, the layout of the area, that knows the land, because the blessing that we got in our property, even though we were looking, we got a piece of land that wasn't even on the market because our realtor knew the individuals in the area that were clearing and having land for sale, and we got it at a great price. So you want to make sure that you get a realtor to be able to help you with that and look for those things. There's some other costs that came up to play for us that after the purchase, we found out that we needed to have. There was maintenance on the property. So when you're looking for the amount of acres that you want to get, you want to make sure that you have the finances to be able to maintenance that property, whether it's 1 acre, 3 acres, 5 or 12. You want to be able to cut the grass. You want to be able to spray for maybe some wild bugs and maybe even ticks, because that's a problem in a lot of rural areas. You want to be able to estimate how much it will cost to put up a perimeter fence, whether it's a wood fence or it's a barbed wire fence. That costs money. We found out that, and we were able to make the provisions to do that. And you also want to make sure for tree clearing and maintenance. We had a lot of dead trees on the properties we had to get rid of. There's stumps that we need to get rid of out of the way, and there's also trees that we want to maintenance, just trim. So there's necessary costs with that. And so we found out now it's fun. I won't tell you that it's not fun. Yes. We enjoy clearing the land. We enjoy pruning the trees, yes, and cutting the grass. It's all fun and vigor, but it does cost, and there's finances that is associated with that. Last but not least, you want to choose a builder. And when you choose your builder, you want to have someone that is licensed in the state and in the area in which you wish to build. There are many contractors that get started when we go get them or you find them, and they're not licensed to build. Therefore, the state won't inspect your property where it's being done. They may shut you down because you don't have the proper permits to get it built, and you have somebody starting something and you've given them a down payment and wasted so much money because these people do not have a license. And then if you want to finance, we would prefer that you finance. Even if you have money to pay for your house outright, it is better to finance it, because the finance company as well as the state would do a double inspection. The finance company would not only do inspections, but they will require photos, and they will require for you to go take a look at the photos and go look at the property before you sign off on the money for your contractors to get paid. So that is an insurance policy for you, that at each and every step your house will be built to the quality that the state requires, that your finance company requires, and that you look forward to. And then get you a builder that will meet your needs. A lot of us have never built a home before. And we didn't. You know, we added room additions, but we never built a home before. So in never building a home before, there are things that you come up on that you want to change, that you want to add new, there are things that you want to do better, and you want a contractor that will be able to work with you with that. And we found that America Home Builders have been a great contractor in working with us and taking care of the small details. So in the end run, we will have a house that we would enjoy, that we will love, and that we won't have to do anything to for the next 10 or 20 years, except for some cosmetic things, because they have been taking care of all of the small touches in which we've enjoyed. So having said that, make sure you do all these things. Number one, start saving money. Everybody can save money. You're going to need it. Number two, begin to look and investigate where you want to go. You know, check your credit. Make sure you can be able to finance your home, even if you can pay for it. Make sure you find a realtor, someone that knows the area and experienced in what they do, and then someone that can guide you through. We had Bo, and Bo guided us through. We gave him the specs of the property that we wanted, and he even elevated that and given us some little information about what we need to look for when we look for that particular land. And lo and behold, we have a beautiful piece of land that God has blessed us with without even bidding with against anybody to get it. So we're praising God for that, and we're at this point now. So in the upcoming videos, you're going to see us building and videoing the foundation and the footers being built, the cylinder block wall around the bottom of the house, the concrete pad, and then after that, we're going to introduce you to the actual construction of our home, the wood framing going up, in which we're excited. These things, and many of these things have taken place, so we want to bring them to you. We're cleaning them up. We want it to be crisp, and we want to be clear. We enjoy your comments. We would like you to give us a thumbs up, like the videos, and those of you who watch and have not subscribed, we want you to subscribe, because we have many beautiful things to bring you. This is just the stepping stone, the building board of what we would like to share with you. We got many other things, but we want to get the house erected and show you this blessing that God has given us as we move from the city to country living. So we invite you to like and subscribe, pay attention to more videos, and give us some comments in regards to some things that you may have questions about if we didn't answer them in our previous videos.
So all of these things that my husband just explained, I know it may sound tedious and it may sound scary, but with God, all things are possible. And if you pray and commit your situation to prayer, God is going to open up the floodgates and give you exactly what you need. You have to trust and be willing to work and save and get on that budget, and God is going to bless your efforts. So even though it was a lot of things that my husband just shared with you and the steps that we had to take, God guided us and led us through all of them. So by faith, we are still walking in Christ and allowing Him to lead us. So don't be afraid of the hard work, the saving. If this is something you really want to do, just go ahead and put your feet on your prayers and go out and just watch God open up the doors in purchasing your land and building your new home. So thanks for watching and have a blessed week.